how are you? Good to see you again. Yeah, come on in, get comfortable. You are here for a cranial nerve exam follow-up, correct? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought it said here. So, it looks like they had a little bit of concern with your vision. One of your eyes, it looks like your left eye is showing signs of potentially maybe not being as strong anymore as your right eye, comparatively a little bit weaker, which before your accident, I think you had pretty good vision, correct? You didn't wear glasses or corrective contacts of any kind. Right, okay. I kind of remember that from your exam. Just want to double check on all the information though, to make sure that we are running all the tests that we need to today. So have you noticed anything different about your vision at all, either since your accident or since the last time I saw you? Yeah, you don't have to repeat if there's anything that's already going to be in your file, but if there's anything you remembered, anything new. Okay. Okay. So you kind of get a little bit of, is the light spiking or is it kind of making a halo? Sort of spiking, okay. All right, anything else that you can think of? Okay, and have you gone to an optometrist or have you had any other sort of vision appointments, any follow-ups, any information that could help us today? Okay. All right, so depending on what's causing the difference between your eye's potential performance capability, if that's a muscular thing versus if it's a neurological thing, or if your eye has simply suffered some sort of trauma that in the process took away just some of your vision at a larger degree than expected, we may be able to, depending on what the underlying cause is, be able to correct either partially or fully with contacts, glasses, or even potentially LASIK. It just depends on what the problem, the underlying root is. Okay, so we're not going to jump to any conclusions yet, but today I'm going to run you through a series of tests, and they're all really simple. You're just gonna use your eyes for me, and we're gonna see how things go. I'm gonna take some notes along the way into the computer, and it'll probably be just a couple of days until you'll hear back. I'll let you know if there's anything though that I see along the way that might be helpful information or calming information. I'm sure this is not easy. Well, you're doing a really great job, and I know it's part of my job to see people every day who are healing from things, and I just think it's really inspiring, and don't feel down, because even if it's taking some time, you're still showing up every day and doing it, and some people are not. So yeah, there's always a bright side, even if it seems really small. Okay, so according to your file here, we have to do a few things. I think what I'm gonna do is run it as a comparison. So first, we're gonna look at some blocks. I have a tray here of just wooden, they're like children's toys, wooden blocks, okay? And I'm going to ask you, so they each have an animal printed on them, but we're going to ignore the animal, and I'm going to ask you what the color of the background of the block is. So for this one, what would you say? So we're just going to go through some like that. It's not a fast-paced test. You can take your time if you need to. It's just seeing whether or not you can recognize the colors. Okay? So we're going to do this the first time through. Then we're going to turn off, dim the lights. There'll still be a light on, but it's going to get a lot darker. And I have various different flashlights that I'm going to use. Some of them are colored, some of them are just a white light. And we're going to look into your eyes. I'm going to inspect them a bit. But I'm also going to see how well you can see and track the light. And after we've sort of put your eyes through that, we'll come back to the blocks and make sure that there are no discrepancies, and we may actually look at some other colors as well, via the use of the colored lights. It'll make sense when we get there. Okay, so are you ready to begin? Do you have any questions? Are you comfortable? Okay, it's really low pressure, you know me, so we'll get through this. Alright, so like I said, I just have all these wooden blocks here, and you just tell me what the background color is. So don't pay attention to the animal, just the background. So what is this one here? Green, good. And this one? Orange, okay. And how about this one? Blue, good. And this guy? Yellow. Oh, doggy. Purple. How about this one? That's red, correct. Okay. And this one? Green, good. Alright, now I'm going to show you two blocks that are both going to have the same color background, and I just want you to tell me first what color that is, and then I want you to tell me which block is darker than the other, because there are different shades of the same color. Make sense? Okay, so here are your blocks. It's blue. Good, this one's lighter. Okay, excellent. Alright, so now that we have gone through that, did you feel uncomfortable with any of those? You seemed pretty confident while you were answering, but I just want to check in and see what your experience is feeling like. Felt good about those? Okay, good. I was going to say it seemed pretty natural for you, and you didn't hesitate on any of them, including the blue to light blue comparison. So I just made a note of that, and we can move on. So like I said, I'm going to dim the light now, and we're going to look at a series of lights, look into your eyes, all that good stuff. Okay? So actually, before I do this, I know it's really late, but I also noticed that you have a little bit of what looks like kind of gentle fluid buildup around your eyes, and in my experience, this can sometimes sort of blur your vision when you're a little swollen and puffy. So if you don't mind, I would be happy to give you a little massage around your eye area for a few minutes. Yeah, and we can just kind of relax and take some nice deep breaths, and you can fill me in on how things have been going for you, and then we'll move on. Okay? Okay, great. So do you mind if I get a little close? Okay. Alright, so I'm just gonna, first I'm gonna press here, right next to your nose for a second, and just sort of pull out some sweeping motions. Okay. Tap a little bit along your upper cheek, right under your eye. Alright, so we're just gonna do this back and forth for a little bit. So while I am doing this, have you been having any more trouble since the last time that I saw you? With anything, not just your eyes. Even though that's why we're here, you're more than welcome to fill me in on anything. You've been having some headaches. And where are those kind of occurring? Are they all over or isolated to one spot? Oh, okay. So, interesting. So, you sometimes get them in your eyes, and those are the worst, but you also are feeling them in the back of your head. Do you know if it's specifically on, like, here, is it on this sort of ropey feeling muscle back here? On your left or your right? Okay. Okay, so mainly on your left side. Is it also in your left eye, the one that's been affected, that you get the kind of headache? It's in your right. Okay, interesting. So I think what could explain that is maybe the fact that if your right eye is compensating currently for your left eye's current sort of weakness by comparison, it could be putting a lot of strain on your right eye, which would be causing those headaches. Sorry, I'm trying not to poke you in the eye. Which could be causing those headaches, though. I'm gonna now just kind of go to the top of your brow and pull outward as well, and kind of also tap along your brow bone, and I might kind of pull it off into the side of your temple a bit as well. Okay. So sweep and tap. And sweep and tap. Okay. Okay, so some headaches you've been noticing. Anything else? Okay. So it's been disturbing your sleep, son. I remember you kind of had a little bit of sleep trouble before, right? So are the changes that are happening in your sleep now, are they consistent with the way things were before? So, like, are you sleeping less, sleeping more? Is that the same or different than your sleep problems of past? Okay. So you feel like your quality of sleep is less? Okay. But you're able to technically sleep more? Okay. Again, that can be a compensation thing. If you're not getting good quality sleep, you're never falling into that really good deep sleep, your body may just be so tired that it's forcing you to kind of shut down more than you were before. And so you can't stay up as much, but when you are sleeping, it's more restless maybe. Are you waking up at all? Do you have any signs that your sleep is kind of like violent? Do you wake up with the sheets everywhere and you're in a tangle ever? Okay. for some people. How are your eyes feeling now? They actually look a little less like inflamed or puffy. Yeah, does it feel a little bit of relief? Okay, so now I'm gonna dim the main lights in here and we'll move on to our little exam. Okay. Okay, we can still see each other. Yeah, just a little darker. So I'm gonna start with a traditional flashlight. If you can just pick a point behind me on the wall, anywhere you'd like, and stare at it for me. I am just going to glance into your eyes for a quick preliminary little check and see if there's anything really off the bat noticeable. Just stay looking at that point for me, if you will. Okay. And keep looking at the point. And then, can you look at the light now? And back to the point. And to the light. Okay, and one more to the point. And to the light. Okay, sorry, now that's bright. Okay, can you pick a spot now on this side? Okay, we're gonna do kind of the same thing. Alright. Okay, good. Keep looking at that spot. Okay. This time I'm going to hold my finger. Okay, so just look at your spot on the wall. Look at my finger. And to the wall. And up my finger. Good. And last one to the wall. And now on my finger. Good. Okay. So, from those preliminary little movements, number one, I didn't see any like crazy danger signs looking into your eyes. Did you feel any discomfort? I know the light was bright, but aside from that, no excessive flashes of light, no intense eye pain. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so all of those preliminaries are looking good. Your eyes were tracking fine. Now we're gonna use a different, it's actually all in one tool, which is kind of neat. It's got a bright white flashlight on one end, and the other side is 3 blue, green, and an orange light, okay? And they're much softer, so I'm going to be bringing them quite close to your eye, quite a bit, and these different light wavelengths are going to let me see into your eye through a different light, literally, and I might be able to detect any problems that could be arising due to like structural damage in your eye, essentially. So this would be more of determining whether or not it's a muscular problem. Okay, alright, so the white light is really bright. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna stand back some actually, and I'm gonna have you just stare somewhere in the center of me, whether it's forehead, nose, chin, chest, whatever. Just pick a spot and have your eyes focused straight ahead towards it, And I'm gonna pull the light in from the side quickly, and you just nod or say yes or whatever you feel comfortable, giving an indication that you saw the flash of light. Okay. Okay. So go ahead and pick a spot. Alright, you ready? You understand? Okay, good. There we go. Good. Okay. Alright, a few more on this side. Good. Okay. You blink a few times for me. You can close your eyes for a second too if you want. Okay. And open. Pick a spot again. Okay, here we go. Okay. Alright. Okay. And last one. Good job. Okay. Just make a note. Again, you didn't see any excessive flashing. Nothing that you didn't report. Okay. And how do your eyes feel? Okay. All right. Okay. So next is the blue light, and if you don't mind, I'm gonna get close again, and I'm just gonna shine the light into your eyes and take a peek, okay? All right. Let me know if it gets too uncomfortable. Great. And feel free to just look wherever you want. It's not gonna be a problem, and might give me another angle to look at your eye at, actually, so yep, feel free to roll. one that's under question right now, it's always a good idea to have a baseline with the other eye, especially because of the nature of what's happening with you in particular. But any way it would go, this exam is always the best if you can have something to compare it to. And I can see a little bit of cloudiness in your injured eye with this, which I can't make a diagnosis as to what that means, but I can definitely see that the interior of your left eye is certainly not exactly the same sort of landscape as the right side, particularly kind of along the outside of your upper, or the upper portion of your iris, way to your left. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna change the color of the light again. Tell me what color. Green. Okay. Alright, you ready? This one's pretty bright too, so I'm gonna be a little more just on the edges here. And I'm kinda gonna look at both eyes around so you can just, your point can kinda shift if I move in the way of where you're staring. Just pick a new spot behind me anywhere, and you'll be doing great. Exactly what I need. Okay. Any tenderness in your eyes? Pain? No, good. When you blink, are you seeing any after images? Flashes of light? Halos? Any tracers to the movement of the light itself? Okay. Can you look over here at my fingertip? And look at the light. Good. Okay. And look over here at my fingertip now. And at the light. Okay. Alright, we're gonna do that on your other eye too. So look right here at my fingertip. And the light. Okay. And now over here. And the light. Good. Okay. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna turn the lights back on. Okay. How are you feeling? Okay? Okay. So we're gonna go back to our wooden blocks. And I'm gonna use the other side of the blocks now so that we're not looking at the exact same images. And again, I just want you to tell me what color the background of the block is, okay? How about this one? Red, good. Blue, and is that the dark blue or the light blue? Dark, good job. And this one? Yellow. Green, good. And what about see here predominantly? Purple, good. Okay. So now I'm just gonna have you tell me, make it something to hold this up against. Here we go. Okay. So I'm just gonna have you tell me if the color that I point to is lighter or darker than the other color. And if you can, I'd like for you to cover your left eye to begin with and just use your right eye right now, okay? Alright, you can see this here. Okay. Is this shade darker or lighter than this shade? And how about this shade? Is it darker or lighter than this one? It is darker. Good. How about this one? Is this shade darker or lighter than this one here? I know it's pretty tough. I would say yes, this one's a little bit lighter. Okay. How about this shade here? Is it lighter or darker than the one above it? Lighter. Good. Excellent job. Okay. Now I have another chart here, and we've done this one before quite a bit. So this one here is our just seeing eye chart. And can I have you read line 1 for me? Good. Line 2. Good, great job. And how about line 3? J and Q, good. And line 4. Good, okay. And how about the line, this first line of color? Can you tell me what color that is? I know it's thin. Green, good. And can you read the line below the green line? Excellent, great. And how about, can you tell me what color this line is down here? Red, great job. Okay. Now on this next color chart, I'm gonna have you cover your opposite eye, so your right eye. Okay. And with your left eye, I'd like you to tell me what color you mainly see here. Green, excellent. And is this green square lighter or darker than this one here? Good. And is this green here lighter or darker than this green here? Correct. Okay. And how about this one? Is it lighter or darker than the center square? Okay, great. Now from this side to this side, do the colors get lighter or darker? Okay, good. You can relax. Did you feel like it was any more difficult to see the colors when you were covering your left eye versus your right eye? Okay. Did you feel like the green or the purple was easier to see, one than the other? And for the double eyes with the seeing eye chart, did you feel any strain or struggle there? Was it blurry at all? It was blurry. Did it look blurry all over or just out of kind of one side? Okay. Okay, so overall, like I said, I can't give you a full diagnosis myself, but I do see that the only real difference I could see at all was a little bit of, like I said, some cloudiness in that left eye when I was using the orange light. So they may need to take a picture behind your eyeball. There's actually this really, really cool thing now that they can do instead of dilating your eyes, and it's called optomapping. And essentially, you put your eye, and it's kind of like playing a game. You have to use your pupil to line up with a color of light, and it's eye activated, so it's red until you lock on perfectly, and then it turns green and takes the picture. So it's kind of like a little real life mini game, and it's completely non-invasive. Nothing touches your eyeball. It's very low key and so much easier than dilating. You don't have to worry about getting right or having crazy eyes or anything, picking out weird glasses if you end up doing that. Yeah, and we have, it looks like if you want, I can schedule you for an optomapping appointment, just in case that ends up being something that you want to do, or that the doctor says that you should do, because we do book out quite some time. Do you want to go ahead? Yeah. And if you need to change it, we can change it. Okay. So it looks, do you have like a best day of the week or best time of the day? You want a Thursday night? Could you do like 6:45, or would it be later? You want to do around 9? Okay. Okay, on the 28th, I have a 9 p.m. Is that good? Okay. So let me just write you in here. Would you like us to give you a courtesy call or text about the appointment? Okay. Have you made any changes to your phone number or home address, just in case we have to send anything? Okay. Good deal. So we've got you in for the optomapping. Like I said, it really only takes like 5 minutes, and that's if you're having a hard time like locking in to take the picture. Sometimes I need to take the images again. That's just kind of how it is. Sometimes internal images, x-rays and things like that, which this is not, but similar concept, that they can become really blurry very easily or not be exactly on the mark. And in order to make sure that the doctors know exactly what they're seeing and they're not having any false readings, we need to get as pristine of an image as possible. So they may make you do it more than one time, but like I said, it's kind of fun. Okay. Alright. So aside from that, there's not really much to report at the moment. Nothing looks crazily wrong, like I said. Just some supporting evidence towards the fact that there is substantial notable trauma in your left eye as a result of your accident, and we're going to do everything that we can to get that back to a normal feeling state for you, or someplace that feels even better than normal if we can correct and give you kind of perfect vision in that eye. Yeah. Okay. So the computer, like kind of cue system, is telling me that it'll probably be tomorrow morning before one of the doctors will see the work that I put in. that we just did, and be able to get a reading on that and let you know what the next steps are. So it probably will be the day after that you hear. If by any chance things are going fast tomorrow, and we don't have a lot of emergency call-ins or anything like that, there's a chance that they might be able to contact you by tomorrow evening, but I just wouldn't bank on it, just to be safe. Okay. Alright. Okay, well, unless you have any other questions, it looks like that's everything that we needed to do. Yeah. Okay. Well, you did a fantastic job. I'm sorry if I was irritating to your eyes with the lights, but as you know, here at Quake, you're more than welcome to lie down and hang out for as long as you'd like, before you have to return to the real world. So you can lay in the bed if your eyes are kind of hurting. We have some sleep masks in the mini refrigerator that are filled with like cool beads that have been cooling in the refrigerator. So, and there's some water and juice and things in there as well. You know the drill. Help yourself. Stay as long as you'd like. I have you booked for the OptoMap for the 28th, just in case that's the next step, and you should hear back from the doctor within 48 hours.